much sold on the Barb, so any Barb Despair gamers that like it looks absolutely insane once you start getting this gear. So there's a lot of Barb stuff that looks good. Like I said, Upheaval, Hoda looks good. There's legendaries for these items already. Lots of multipliers to make it start doing ridiculous damage. Whirlwind was really fun. I was pleasantly surprised to see how smooth that gameplay would be with all this kind of like these rings, the Fury generation, and then just like the fact that it snapshots the damage. So pretty promising. So that's just kind of what I think about the Barb. My Barb experiences, played this character, did all this stuff on hardcore, didn't die, had to leave. I think I had to run away from one butcher. I just hit 25, so I had no gear. But yeah, Barb will be pretty miserable until you start getting the items. Like a Sork is probably going to be like level 100, but by the time the Barb is like level 60 or something, I don't know how long it takes to actually level and like how much more difficult it is, but it's about getting the gear. Once the Barb has the gear, he is, I don't know, he just seems absolutely out of control versus the other classes. So, yeah, that's the Barb stuff. So, thanks for watching. More videos like this. I might make some, but that is the Barb stuff.
Hey guys, how's it going? Parian here. Today I want to make a video where I go over everything I've learned about the sorcerer skills in Diablo 4 and the builds that are likely to come as a result from it. This knowledge is from the open beta and the early access beta, so the game coming out in 2 months can certainly change a lot of this, but if you know everything in its current state, hopefully not everything changes by the time the game is released. I would say that there's a reasonable likelihood that none of it actually changes by the time the game is released. I highlighted a pretty powerful Sork build in the How Good is Diablo 4 video, which I imagine many of you guys have already seen. It is one that focuses on Hydra moving a lot and not taking really any damage throughout any parts of the game. It is a very powerful build, but it comes with one little issue, and the more you level, the bigger of an issue it becomes. The build actually doesn't very well utilize the extra points that you get going from level 25 to level 50, which we believe is when the actual skill points for the tree stops. So there are a few parts to the video. First, I'm going to go over the knowledge that I have acquired testing every single skill the sorcerer has in its arsenal, and then I'm going to give you guys the builds, at least the direction of the builds that I imagine could work, and there are a number of Sork builds that work quite well. And before you ask, no, I will not be making this type of video for the other classes. My process for these beta weekends was first to get general understanding of the game, to get a general understanding and try some of the more powerful builds for each class, then pick the class that I want to play when the game comes out, and then learn absolutely everything there is to learn about that class. So this is going to be a Sork exclusive video, but at least I think it will highlight a process out as how you might approach to learn video games, because, well, I find it a lot of fun. You might as well, and you often end up learning and knowing the game to a depth that other people will not. So that's pretty cool too. Alrighty, so let's get into the game. Now the build that I'm actually playing right now is the one that I think I'm going to go when the game actually releases, but first let's go through every single skill and I'll give you what I have learned. The basic skills for Sork are actually pretty good as far as basic skills are concerned, but they are largely unused and in like actual builds. There's too many powerful cooldowns, especially defensive and mobility based cooldowns, for you to find a slot on your action bar. Now, if the action bar size increases, I can see some uses from these basic skills. Arclash is the basic skill that you want to begin your character with because it is the one that hits the most monsters and it does quite a lot of damage. You need to get 2 points in this first wheel in order to activate the core skills, and you don't want to spend more than that really playing a Sork. the first upgrade from